Hello students, in this session we are going to start another chapter of science, that is chapter number 3, Fibre to Fabrics. Let's see what are the different topics that we are going to study in this chapter. And the topics are introduction, then we will see variety of fabrics. What are the different fabric that we use to make our clothes? Under this, we will study two more topics, natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Then we will see some of plant fibers like cotton and jute. And in another topic, we will see the spinning of cotton yarn. Then we will see how the fabric is made from yarns by two methods, and that methods are weaving and knitting. At last, we will see the history of clothing materials. So, let's begin with this chapter. We all wear clothes. Clothes come in different styles and colors. Clothes not only make us look smart but also protect us from the extreme weather changes. Clothes also protect us from the dirt and dust. The changing seasons, summer, winter, autumn and rainy seasons can make us feel hot, cold and wet. We wear clothes made up of both natural and synthetic fiber, which we call artificial fibers also. Natural fibers includes cotton, silk and wool, while polyester and nylon are the synthetic fibers. In summers, we need to wear clothes that keep us cool. Cotton keeps us cool, and in summer we wear cotton clothes such as cotton dresses and kurtas. In winter we wear woolen clothes such as sweaters and woolen trousers. Wool keeps us warm. Wool we get from sheep. Silk clothes are worn on special occasions such as wedding or birthday party. We get silk from silkworm. We use clothing such as raincoat and gumboots during rainy season. We use clothing such as raincoats and gumboots during rainy weather. These are made from synthetic materials. Even the umbrellas we use are made from synthetic materials. That is why they keep us from getting wet. If you look around yourself, you will notice your clothes, bed sheets, pillow covers, towels, curtains, blanket, tablecloths, your shopping bag, even your school bag. All these items are made up of different kinds of clothing material. Isn't it, students? You will be able to notice the different types of cloth by feeling or by touching them. Actually, all these items are made up of different kinds of fabrics. So, now question arises in your mind as what are fabrics and from where do we get these fabrics and how these various items are made from the fabrics. Now, let's try to answer each of these questions one by one. Whenever you had visited to a garment shop, you must have noticed the bundles of clothes like shown on the screen are lying there. These are called fabrics. Fabrics are the materials used for making clothes, curtain, bed sheets, tablecloth, towels and bags, etc. These fabrics are stitched either manually with the help of sewing machine or in the machines in the factories to get all these different items such as clothes, bed sheets, pillow cover, towels, curtains, blankets, tablecloth, shopping bags, school bags and carpets. Now let's try to understand about the fabric in more detail. When we look at any fabric, it seems a continuous piece of cloth. Is fabric a really continuous piece, students? For this, I want you to take a close look at any fabric piece in your house, and for even more understanding, try taking picture of fabric piece by zooming your camera. What did you notice, students? You will observe that while from a distance fabric seems like a continuous piece, but actually it is not. As you observe it more closely, you will notice that fabric is made up of two sets of strands arranged together in horizontal and vertical manner. So let's find out what these strands are. These strands are called as yarns or loose threads. You must have seen these yarns at the tailor shop or even at your home. To better understand yarns, try to take out a loose thread from any of the edge of a fabric piece. These loose threads are called as yarns. So, you can say that fabric is made up of yarns arranged together. Now, try to look at yarns more closely. For this, scratch one end of the yarn which you took out from the fabric and observe it carefully. You will notice that yarns splits into many thinner strands. These small and thin strands are called as fibers. Thus, we can say that yarns are made up of still thinner strands which we call as fibers, or in other words, we can say that fibers are twisted together to make yarns. So now you understood about the fabrics, and fabrics are made up of yarns and yarns are further made up of fibers. So we can say that fibers are significantly long threads, extremely long threads that can be converted into yarns. And what are yarns? By the way, children, yarns are nothing but the long continuous threads that can be directly woven into fabrics. And what are fabrics, children? Fabrics are the pieces of cloth that we use for making a cloth. That means the yarn is interwoven to form pieces of fabric that can be cut and stitched to make our clothes. So, fibers are threads which is used to make long and continuous usable threads called yarns. These yarns are then woven into fabrics which are used to make stitched clothes for us. So, next question arises in our mind is, from where do we get these fibers? Fibers we get from the two sources, that are natural sources and artificial sources, or we can say that man-made sources. Fibers which we obtain from plants and animals are known as natural sources, and the fibers which we synthesized in industries from simple chemicals obtained from petroleum are called as synthetic fibers. Here, children, natural sources, as I told you, they are obtained from plants such as cotton, jute and coir. Children, coir is obtained from the coconut husk. Then animal sources are wool and silk. Then the example of synthetic fibers are polyester, nylon and acrylic. Now we will do an activity based on the types of fibers. As I have explained you about the natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Children, natural fibers are the fibers which are obtained from plants and animals, and the synthetic fibers are the fibers which are synthesized in industry from simple chemicals obtained from the petroleum, and that's why we call these synthetic fibers as man-made fibers. To do this activity, you have to collect cutting of fabrics left over after stitching from tailor's shop, but this is not possible due to the current situation. Then you have to collect these cuttings from the bundle of old clothes which you are not using nowadays. For this you need your mother's help. If you can't identify these types of clothes, ask your mother to help for the identification of different types of cloth. Then you have to categorize them, the collected cutting, as natural fibers and synthetic fibers as shown on the screen. Then you have to stick the cuttings of cotton, jute, woolen, silk clothes under the natural fibers, as these are obtained from plants and animals. And nylon, polyester and velvet clothes you have to stick under the column of synthetic fibers, which are not natural fibers, and as they are synthesized in industries from simple chemicals obtained from petroleum. Now I am ending this session, and we will be studying more about the sources of fiber in detail in our next session. Till then, goodbye and take care, students. Bye bye.